Part 2 of Lesson 8 Problem Set. A number is 6 greater than 1/2 of another number. The sum of the numbers is 21. Find the numbers. So n is the number 6 greater than 1/2 of the number. So that's the second number. So the sum, n plus half of n plus 6 is 21. So 1/2 n plus 6 is 21. Subtract 6 from each side, and you get 3/2. That's another way to write 1/2. n equals 15. Divide each side by 3/2. Which is actually multiplying by the reciprocal, so 30/3, meaning n would be 10. 30 divided by 3 is 10. So that's the first number. The second number would be half of 10 plus 6. Half of 10 is 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 is 11, and those do have a sum of 21. Kevin is currently twice as old now as his brother. If Kevin was 8 years old 2 years ago, how old is Kevin's brother now? So he's twice his brother's age, but 2 years ago he was 8. His brother is 5. We'll write that as 5 years old. Should probably circle our answers up there as well. So, 2 consecutive odd numbers. Consecutive means in a row. And consecutive odds, that would be like 1, 3, 5, 7. So between each one, it's plus 2. So you've got a number plus the next odd number is 156. What are the numbers? Combining like terms. $154 divided by 2. When we divide it by 2, we no longer have that. Okay. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the number is 77. So 77 for the first number, and then 79 would be 77 plus 2. And let's add those just to make sure that this is correct. 156 is what we started with, so that looks great. Last question on this page. N represents an odd integer. Write an expression in terms of n that represents the next 3 consecutive odd integers. So consecutive odds, this is the next odd. And this is the next one after that, because you're adding 2 each time to get to the next odd. Okay, wait a minute. The next 3 consecutive. So the number and then 1, 2. Okay, it's that one. So the next one. So a number and the next 3 consecutive odds have a sum of 56. 1, 2, 3, 4 n's plus 2, 4, 6. 8, 10, 12. And just solve this by working through our steps. Whoa, we have 10. That's an even number. So there's an issue. And I see the issue. 56 minus 12 is 44. So we always want to double check ourselves. Okay, 11 is odd. 11, 13, 15, 17. So let's check that. Make sure that it does give us a sum of 56. Okay, so that looks good. You couldn't even see the end of it. I'll leave it there for just a second. This check step's pretty important. Alright, moving on to the next page on Lesson 8, the final page. Cost of admission to a history museum is $3.25 per person over the age of 3. Kids 3 and under get in free. The total cost of admission, including their 2 6-month-old twins, is $19.50. How many family members are over 3 years old? So, the twins get in free because they're under 3. So we've got $3.25 per person. And that gave us $19.50 because it's $3.25 per person over the age of 3. Alright, and we just divide by $3.25. I think I'm going to do something. I'm going to estimate here for a minute. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to try to do 6 because 18 is pretty close to 1950. Alright, 6 times 5, carry the 3, 12, 13, 14, 15, carry the 1, 18, 19. And that worked out. I reasoned through that. So that means there are 6 people in this family over the age of 3. Alright, number 14, we have 6 times the sum of 3 consecutive odd integers. So we know that would be the first number, the second odd integer, and 3 consecutive. So the next odd integer, I'm going to change that into brackets instead of parentheses. So 6 times the quantity, 1, 2, 3, n, 2, 4, 6. And then I'm going to distribute, actually, let's divide by 6. And we get 3n plus 6 equals -3. Subtract 6 from each side. Move over here. 3n equals -9. Divide each side by 3. N is -3. So the next consecutive odd integer, okay, we have -3. Then we would have -1. Then we would have, let's see, 1. And if we did -3 and -1, that's -4, plus 1 is -3, -3 times 6 is -18. So that checks out. Here are the integers. Whoa, sorry about that. Okay, got 2 more questions. Okay, this is a mystery puzzle. Thinking of a number, you multiply the number by 4, and you add -4 to it. Then you take 1/3 of that, and you get -6. So to find the number, we're going to do all the inverses. We're going to divide by 1/3, which is actually multiplying by 3. So I'm going to multiply by 3 here and here. That's eliminated. I get 4n minus 4, I've just rewritten that, equals negative 18. Add 4 to each side. 4n equals negative 14. Divide by 4. N equals negative 3 2/4, which is negative 3 1/2. Vending machine has twice as many quarters in it as dollar bills. The quarters and dollar bills have a combined value of $96. How many quarters are in the machine? So, we have X is the number of dollars. So 2X would be the number of quarters. But each quarter is 25 cents. Total of $96. So we have X plus quarter. Let's do it this way. 0.25 times 2 is 0.50. X equals 96. So $1.50. X equals 96. Divide by $1.50. Do some side work. What have I got? 96 divided by $1.50. Mm, 15, 30, 45, 90. Okay, I think that's going to be 6. Let's do 150 times 6. 0, 0, 3. That's 900. So I finished that out. 64, which is the number of dollars. There's 2 times the number of quarters. So 64 times 2 is 128. There were 128 quarters in the machine.